Hello everybody, I'm Tim and this is Haul and Paws Transport. Today we're talking about how to set up a bed in the back seat of your truck. So stay tuned. This is the mattress that I selected. It is the 8-inch Theratouch memory foam mattress. I got it from Walmart. I think it was like $85. I can't really remember. It's a twin and it's got 3 layers of foam. So you have your high density on the bottom, and then you have the kind of a medium density stuff in the middle, and then your memory foam on top, and then it's got like a knitted cover on it, and you put a sheet over that and then you're all set. It's got some kind of activated charcoal for moisture absorption and stuff like that, but it's really affordable and comfortable mattress for sleeping in the bed of the truck. So trying to get inside this thing so I can cut the foam proved to be a little tricky. There is a zipper that runs all the way around, but when they put the zipper up here, it's not a normal zipper that has one of those little floppy pull things. It doesn't have one of those. It's just the zippy part. I don't know what those things are called. Do not remove cover. I believe that's because the foam inside here is actually 3 layers or 4 layers of foam in there. So what I did was I took my little utility knife and I cut this cover, because this piece of fabric was over top of this. And I cut this back because I reached up in there with needle nose pliers and couldn't get this thing to move. So I wanted to see what was going on in there, because if you just grab it like a normal zipper, it won't unzip. It will get tighter, but it won't unzip. So this is a special kind of zipper. It's actually got, and you can't really see it, but there's a little locking mechanism in there. Allows it to only go one way. So I took a little pokey thing. You could use a paper clip or anything. This is just what I had in the toolbox. And you stick it into that hole. Once you push it in that hole, it releases the lock, and then you can zip this thing wherever you want. So now I can unzip the end of this and then be able to cut my foam. Now some people just go and cut this cover and then tape it back up or try to sew it back up. I'm not a kind of sewing person, so I'm just going to try to unzip it, pull it back a little bit, cut my edge of foam off, and then I can pull it back over and just zip it back up. I'll just tuck the material up underneath the bed and then it won't be a big deal. Well, so after further review, I got it open. The foam is actually in a sock that's stitched closed. So I'm not sure if I'm just gonna cut the edge of this or if I'm just gonna cut the foam and the sock at the same time. But you can see the layers of the memory foam in here, and then a different kind of foam, a different density, and then your egg crate, really dense foam for the base. But there's 3 layers of foam, makes this thing super comfortable to lay on. So I ended up cutting it open, and I'm just gonna cut the foam separate. Don't use a grinder with a cutoff wheel. This has got a grinder wheel on it, but don't use a cutoff wheel to try that. Go steal your wife's scissors. Trust me. So now I did my measurements, put my line, so now I'm gonna cut it. My measurement was 66. When I measured it in the truck, I'm leaving another inch for some wedging, but I measured 66, and the first thing that popped to my head was execute order 66. You won't get that reference unless you're a geek or a kid. So go ask your kids what order 66 is and see if they know. They better know. So now I'm gonna cut it off. This would be a great place to use a foam knife. A foam knife is like it's like a soldering iron with a long razor blade on it that gets hot. And you can get them at like Joann Fabrics and craft places and things like that. I had one that I used for cutting foam for toolboxes, but it finally gave up the ghost and now I don't have it anymore. You can just take a utility knife, sharp, get a new blade, and then cut a strip at a time and kind of peel it back and then get it cut all the way through the 3 layers of this stuff. I'm going to try to do it on a bandsaw. Not sure if it's going to work. Might have to get my son out here to give me a hand, but it should give me a nice clean line. We'll find out. I took a scrap piece of plywood and clamped it to the end of my workbench to put the mattress up against it so I could do my measurements off this edge. It gives me a little bit of compression and gives me a flat spot to measure from, because the edges are a little scrunched from being in the truck for a while, so they weren't exactly straight. So I wanted to get it as straight as I could, so I put this board up there like that. Bandsaw is a no-go. It's only 6 inches deep, and this is 8 inches deep. And if you squish it so that it fits, it will fit in there, but then it's so grippy, it won't slide on the table. And that's it. I just used a box cutter and cut the foam off. So now I gotta put this back together and shove it in the truck. So what I have going on in here looks like a pallet, but it's not. It's kind of my Oriental Zen platform. I built this actually just because I didn't want to buy any more wood, and I had some of this plywood, so I cut it in strips and left a gap, and it doesn't make it any less strong or anything. It actually makes it lighter, so that's actually a good idea to do that. Plus you get some, I don't know if you get airflow or what from it, but it does make it lighter, and it was cheap. This whole thing, I already had all the wood in the garage, so it didn't really cost me anything. I put it, it's about that high off the floor. There's not a ton of room in there, but there's enough to shove bags and things in there. On the other side, I have my safety triangles, and then I have my, what I call my immediate emergency bag. Maybe we'll open that up and I'll show you what's inside it. Then I have a couple flashlights and stuff in there, but I can still fit clothes and some other things underneath here. There's still a fair amount of storage. But I had to go kind of lower because my mattress is 8 inches thick. I wanted something that was comfortable, so I wanted a thicker mattress, and it makes it so that it's up here with, even with my console, so it's just kind of flat across. And as I said, I took out my back seat. The back seat comes out with 4 bolts. That's it. And then the back seat pops out all in one big chunk. And then I just set my seat over here, and I can put that back in if the family needs to go when I get back in town or whatever. I can put it back in really fast. And then there we go. Now I just got to put a sheet on it and I'm all set. Fits in there perfect right across there. And I'm pretty much right up here at the center console, so everything's nice and flat. Super comfy. I am 6'4", so I'm a little long for this. But if I lie diagonal in here, put the front seat forward, this driver's seat forward, then if I lay diagonal, then it's perfect. I sleep on my side a lot anyway, so I'm kind of like, not really fetal position, but I got my legs bent. So I actually fit across here fine if I'm on my side. Super comfortable though. This mattress is, I really like it. It's really, really comfortable. Just was easy to modify to make it fit in there nice for this particular truck. And right now the seats are all the way back. They can go more forward, but it fit in there perfect with the seats all the way back. Like I said, I'm 6'4", so I have to drive with my seat all the way back. So that's my bed. If you like what I did back there, I mean, it's nothing super fancy. It's simple to do. It was inexpensive and super comfortable. That's really all I wanted. I didn't want anything super fancy. I didn't want anything super expensive. And I definitely didn't want anything that was inflatable. I've never had any luck with anything inflatable. They always have to add air to it. It's cold, they're hot, they just don't feel right. So I didn't want anything inflatable, so I wanted an actual mattress. And that's the solution that I came up with. So if you liked the video, then click the like button, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down there if you got some questions about what I used or how I did it. I know I didn't show you totally building the base and all that stuff, but it's basically just some wood slats that are screwed together. So nothing super special there. So I really hope you like the video and you like the content that we're putting out. We're leaving at sometime early tomorrow morning to go to Minnesota, and we will be making a video of that trip. I'm gonna be taking my son with me on that one. So he'll be introduced to the RV transport business. So I'm Tim, that's Daisy. Together we're hauling paws, and as always, have safe travels, and I hope to see you on the road.